Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. I was having some technical difficulties. Hi, King Chelsea. Welcome. Lots of technical difficulties. It's not blurry, but yeah, a little bit blurry. I'm having technical difficulties. I was not able to upload a thumbnail for some reason, and I had difficulty exiting out of programs that I was previously in. I have a very slow old laptop, and I've had a lot of third party interference, so it that hasn't helped matters. Welcome, welcome. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late. It's taken me this long to sign on. I tried since like 10 minutes before the hour. Good evening, con artists. Welcome. Happy Easter, everybody. I was having some technical difficulties, just not being able to exit out of programs and sign on to the chat. I've got to switch laptops. I've got to get a new one. So, how's everybody doing? Yeah, it's always something. Always something. And when I moved here, this laptop was in perfect condition. I hardly ever used it back in New Jersey. It was like my backup because I had a PC. So I just pretty much use it as a backup. Oh, hi, River Bluff. Welcome, welcome. Happy Easter. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, so it's like since I moved to Kentucky, I mean, everything has gone wrong with it. Anything electrical that I own, even if I bought it brand new here. Hello, Nike Slim with a cute little wave there. Welcome, everybody. So, how's everybody doing? It's very warm here today for a change. So, I bought a couple of new books by H.G. Tudor, who's a self proclaimed narcissist. And I read the introduction of my last uploaded video. You've been hiking all day, laid out on the bed. Good for you. I mean, it's so nice that the weather's getting nicer, but now the grass is growing. Oh, you're watching it now. Yeah, I uploaded that earlier. I just bought these books. They arrived, right? A completely sealed box. It was the two books were alongside of some other little boxes that I bought, on one of those auto shipments. And I pulled it out and I examined the books, and it's like, these criminals, they're at it. I don't know if if they have the ability to damage it without opening the box, or if they're damaging it and then sealing the box, at the facility, the packaging facility. Please remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. I know that there are some people that celebrate Easter. They go out and they do things. If you're still getting together with family and stuff, so it's possible that there won't be as many people in the chat tonight because of Easter. I'm not sure. So where is it? Well, I know where a con artist is. Nike Slim. What state are you in? It may take people a little while to get a notification also, because by the time I finally was able to sign online, it was like 18 minutes past 10. I can't stand being late. So yeah, if you see that something is fuzzy, it could be on my end. And like everything I do on the laptop is much slower. Texas. Oh wow. Well, the humidity, I'm sure. You had all those golf balls. Right? Did you have those golf balls raining down on you? Hail the size of golf balls? I saw it on the news. They have to eventually melt. The weather is unbelievable. I mean, even for Kentucky, which is fairly mild all year round, except the summertime, it gets pretty hot. But we had a crazy winter. We had like 4 weeks of snow. Oh, you don't get anything like that in New Zealand. Is the weather more temperate there? Like, what's your growing season? I guess we kind of go by like growing seasons. I haven't planted anything yet, besides the fact that my chickens are digging everything up. Yeah, the weather's been very extreme across the country. We've had some crazy tornadoes in the Midwest. I've been watching the news there. These storm chasers on YouTube. I mean, they're crazy. They're actually following the storm. The coldest there is -15. Okay. That's pretty cold. That's cold. We had a few days that were minus. Oh, thank you so much, Chelsea. Thank you. Oh, I know. I know. I was so sad to hear it. I actually started to cry. I mean, he's only 51 years old. And thank you so much for the chat, the super chat. His videos were so good. There are quite a few people that create videos that are really poignant, that are so helpful, and his definitely was. Like his videos were really at the community level. Because we all know, everybody knows that it's the FBI and the CIA, the NSA, and the military and stuff, but on the street level, I mean, he just flat out told us what's going on. I do. I absolutely do. Yes. Yeah. This is what I think because I've been seeing this happen since 2017. It happened to my friend Helena. Um, and so many other people you'll either get set up for a car accident, right? They set you up for car accidents. I've seen like now three females that got set up with car accidents. Karen Romero had actually three car accidents in 1 year. But Andrew's only 51 years old. He worked out at a gym. He had four daughters. He loved his dogs. So when they say in the obituary um, that he passed away at his home, a lot of times that implies he's a targeted person. Uh, Boswell was a targeted person. He had, a ministry, a spiritual ministry, and he created a couple of videos. I think there were more videos, and he had a YouTube channel at one time. He had a Facebook page. He had a website. Hi, Bubbly Blindly. Please remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. But a lot of times, targeted people's passing does not get investigated. Hi, Nick. I know I had technical difficulties. It took me about 20 minutes to get the live started, and I had to exit out of one program that would not close because I've got a really old, slow laptop. So Andrew Boswell was only 51 years old. 51 years old, 50-year-old people just don't suddenly die. But he's a targeted person. And I find it ironic that, at 51, 5 plus 1 equals 6. And 6 years ago, he created all those videos 6 years ago. And you know how these criminals, the Freemason losers, love their sixes. So there's got to be another six somewhere in there. I haven't done the numerology or the astrology of his birth date, which I have written down here. But they're going to imply that he took his own life, and he never would do that. So they probably, it works a couple of ways with targeted people. They want to make it appear as if it happened naturally. They want to make it appear as if somebody took their own life. They'll either have an accident, or they'll take their own life by police officer, meaning that somebody killed him. Can I say that on Baytube? Just somebody killed him, took him out. Or it could have been by directed energy weapon. These energy weapons can do anything. And I would love to know, like, what was going on in his life, like the week before, the days before. If he reached out to anybody, his family. Bubbly Blindy. Good question, con artist. Is everybody a targeted person here in the chat? I see that there are 13 people, but only 5 thumbs up. Come on, guys. Hit that little like button. Well, unfortunately, I'm a targeted person. According to H.G. Tudor, the narcissist, we're chosen by the narcissist. The narcissist chooses us. So it's not far from the truth when some people say that we're the chosen ones. Well, we are. We're chosen by psychopaths for particular reasons. Oh, River Bluff for 4 years. Yeah. Hi, Lioness. Welcome. So we've got Con Artist, Nike Slim, Lioness, Nick S, River Bluff, Bubbly Blindy. I'm always curious how people select their handle, their name, to serve to suffer. Yeah, yeah, they've chosen us for a lot of reasons. Yeah, well, according to H.G. Tudor, it's their kind versus our kind. And basically, what he says is there is nothing that we did wrong or said, or it has nothing to do with the color of our eyes, it has nothing to do with what we look like. It has to do with our light. Yes, that's interesting, Nike. He says, I'm not or don't believe so. I had periods of time where out of nowhere police would be pulling me over. One time, two times in one day, even told my family about it, and then out of nowhere police shows up. Yeah, his books are when I read his first book in New Jersey, I was I was getting really upset. It was very creepy. It kind of reminded me of that film with Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster. Name change again. Oh, you should change your name again. Hi. If you're not an introvert, they come after your assets and life insurance money. Well, these people are sick. You know what? They can't create for themselves, so they have to steal from everybody else. They need to get to work and earn money the way we do and not steal it from everyone else. Well, I don't have any life insurance that I'm aware of, unless somebody took one out on me that that I don't know about. Exactly, Nike. It was almost like they were following you and parking outside your house all the time, and then it seemed to stop. They were surveilling you. I mean, that happened to me in New Jersey. I would get pulled over by the police for stupid stuff. Like my registration was going to expire. It was going to did not expire, but it was going to expire. Oh, that's so interesting that you had your phone wrapped in foil and then you had to use it to make a call. Within minutes a sheriff's car drove past. What a coincidence. Yeah, yes. Some are demon possessed and some are just in it for the money. Well, I'm sorry, nobody could pay me enough money to do this to somebody, even if I don't like them, like even my sorry ass neighbors. Although I would like to see my neighbors enjoy what I do for a month, have no contact with any of their family and friends, nobody living with them. They have to do everything by themselves, and people hating on them. I want to see how long. Hi, Daniel. Welcome. How long my neighbors would last without all their little friends around them. Yes, the license plate readers. They have that in New Jersey too. Yep, that's exactly what happened. They have license plate readers there. I think yeah, most states have it now, but when I was in New Jersey, they had it like long before I ever moved. I know because when one officer pulled me over to tell me that my registration was going to expire. It didn't expire, but it was going to expire. And then he had this smile on his face. He said, "Well, do you know how I knew?" I said, "No, tell me." He said, "Well, you see that sign over there? You do not have a family, so you can have more vigilance. Also, do you have TikTok?" I have a TikTok. Yeah, I've got TikTok. I haven't been on there to post recently. Like, I just follow a lot of people mostly. I actually started on TikTok before I started this channel, documenting my chickens and gardening and stuff like that. Thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Um, yes, that my TikTok is alternative homesteading. Do I believe V2K is real? Of course it is. There are patents for it. There are patents for it. There are so many people. Hi, Vendetta. Vendetta Red. Yes, Saturday Night Live. Yes, it is Saturday Night Live. Red Dragon, welcome. Right now, I'm actually burning dragon's blood at my front door with some sage. Yes, V2K is definitely real. There are patents for it, and there are a lot of people like David A. Other people that will just tell you what they're saying. It's mechanical. They're mechanical voices that are deliberately done to certain people. There are two different kinds of V2K, and I have a video about it on my channel. There's the hearing kind, the voice hearing kind, and then there is the silent V2K, which is what I get. It's silent. They like to torture me silently, so I can't tell them to go fuck themselves every time they're telling me something that I don't want to hear. Well, I think a lot of it has to do with your health, your diet, kinds of food you eat, if you smoke, drink, do drugs. I think all of that has a lot to do with the effect their technology has. But then they'll just sometimes amp it up. Yes, yes, they are not mind controllable. That's why they have to do everything else. Yeah, but what I have is like 24/7. I've got like signals going on in my ears, all the high pitches, high pitch sounds, like a radio. One dream, one soul, one you, me. Yeah, so that's what I think about Andrew Boswell. So he was either, and nobody had heard from him. He hadn't posted a video. He took down a lot of things, like maybe a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. Somebody on my channel commented that the last time he spoke to him was about 9 months ago. They show gang stalking in Desperate Housewives season one. Really? See, now I don't watch any of these TV shows, so I appreciate your telling me that. Is that something that I could locate on YouTube? Maybe. I'll write myself a note, see if I can find it later. Oh, interesting, Nick. V2K doesn't work on my place. Tin roof, concrete walls. I'm going to wrap that smart meter though. Yeah, I wrapped up my smart meter actually when I first moved here. That was one of the first things I did. Is I got a Faraday cage for the smart meter. Oh, it's for rent on YouTube, free to watch on Amazon. See, I don't have Amazon Prime or Hulu. I don't have a television. Hi, Tony. Welcome. Welcome to the Saturday night live stream before Easter. Well, thank you so much, Chelsea. I do feel, yes, Chelsea says, I feel we have enough people to start a proper movement to get the word out in the mainstream. Thank you for the work you do. It helped me when I first started. Do you think this suffering has a purpose? Well, that's a really good question. Does suffering have a purpose? I don't know. Throughout history, people have said that angst and pain and suffering does have a purpose, that it teaches you how to move through it and how strong you are. Um, I don't know. I'd rather not have it. Let's put it that way. I feel like enough is enough. You know, I've heard the expression that God doesn't give you more than you can handle. I think that that's not true. I don't think that's true. I think sometimes it's way too much. Like it's just totally off the charts sometimes. And then I think like, okay, well, Andrew Boswell was a spiritual man. He was only 51. He had everything to live for, four daughters, dogs, family, but he's not here. So God wasn't protecting him. Or maybe he was just being tortured too much. I don't know. Exactly. And you know what? This is torture. It is torture because it is nonstop. It's 24/7. It's every day and it's for years. It's sort of like what they did with Julian Assange. Okay, so what they did is they actually took him out of his natural environment. Uh, because he was a journalist, they took him out of his natural environment. They um, they literally tortured him, torture techniques. But they do the same to us in the privacy of our own homes. The fact that they invade our privacy, that in some people, they can look through your eyes, hear through your ears, smell through your nose. They watch you when you're in bed, while you're sleeping, while you're peeing, while you're showering, while you're in the bathtub. Um, he's in Minnesota. Let me get the information. 1 second. Yes, it takes a long time to figure out what's going on. It takes a long time. It took me a couple of years. Like I knew I was being stalked. I just figured it was the feral cat cartel. I didn't realize that it was a program, and it had been going on for a long time. It was going on for a couple of years before I figured out what was going on. And my laptop is so slow. I'm actually trying to look at an email, and I have an unresponsive page here. Okay, so Adam, the 16-year-old who's now 21, who wrote that gang stalking survival guide. I'm just reading his email now from hours ago. He wanted to know how he can get on the live stream, and let me just send him a quick message back. Let me see if I can get this for him. Let me see. Yeah, there's so many people out there that are probably being targeted and are completely unaware. Oh, really? That's good to know about Rumble. Has a whole list mentioning gang stalking. One second. One second. Yes, yes, they are cowards. They have to hide behind their dark windows and windshields and dark sunglasses. They think they're James Bond and Jane Bond. They think they're special. And I've got to give the FBI a little, pat on the back because they were very smart in this way. They knew how stupid people would be to go along to get along, to think that they're so special by giving them a fake badge or that they're working with them. And the FBI is probably snickering behind all their backs, like, look at all these stupid people that we got to do our bidding for us. Hi, welcome, welcome, HM. Welcome. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, guys, when you come in. Yeah, they have to hide. And also, what about these guys one on one without their little pack of wolves? They're nothing. Imagine like a whole pack of wolves against a 66-year-old woman. I mean, how pathetic is that? That is just so little weenie boys that they are. Little weenie boys and little weenie girls. And you know what? Just 1 month. Hi, Rubia. Welcome. Yeah, they're cowards. I would just love for every one of my neighbors to get what I'm getting just for a month. They would have no contact with their friends, no contact with their family. They have to live alone. They have to do all the work by themselves. No, they can't speak to anybody, and everybody in the neighborhood will hate their guts. And then we'll see how they survive. Yes, we'll see how they survive. Being stalked and radiated and vandalized. Exactly. I mean, the FBI actually, like I said, I have to give them a pat on the back. They're very smart about what they did. Very, very smart. They, looked at the general population and they said, hey, at least a third of the population are idiots. We can get a third of the population to work for us for free. We'll just give them a gift card. And you know where they get those gift cards? All these FBI agents, they have to gotta fly around the country. They probably have American Express rewards and and Visa rewards, and all those rewards go into the gift card pool, right? They don't have to pay a dime. Yes, yes. Yes, it's so interesting. That's a really interesting, Connor. As you said, every week my thoughts go back in time and I piece more and more together people's actions, words, setups, my family. Yes, I've been thinking that about my family too. I have a cousin, my cousin and my brother together. Yes, organized crime and military lovers too. Losers. Okay, yeah, you had to correct that. Military losers, yeah. I know. Don't you want to know what's in your smear campaign? Well, I'll tell you what was in mine in New Jersey, at least one. My neighbor next door, who I'd been living next door to for like 20 years, I find out that they called me a skinny little whore. I was like the first divorced woman on the block, and obviously I was dating. And I guess they didn't like that I was dating. I wasn't married anymore. So yeah, the smear campaign was I was a skinny little whore, and then the smear campaign here is that they were smearing me that to people that work here or that I would attempt to work here that I don't pay people. I actually had two people that work for me told me that they were approached and said that I don't pay people. Before your mother? Oh, that's so horrible, Tony. You know, it doesn't really matter anymore at this point because people are idiots that they believe this stuff. I mean, in New Jersey, I lived next door to some of these people for 15 years. And you would think that if they heard something, that they would come to me and say, Lorraine, I heard X, Y, and Z. Is this true? But people are so stupid. If they're approached by some it would be easy to call men that or something else because of men are more sexually uh what's the word? Testosterone. But they can't call all men that because it's definitely not true. It's certainly not true. And from everything that people have researched so far, the people that are involved in that are very immature. Most likely experienced it through childhood, grew up in a cult family. Yeah, vicious rumors. Oh yeah, they definitely say that I don't pay people here. And then of course, yeah, I've got my stupid ass neighbors that call me a psycho. Really? You're the one that fell in the ditch while you're photographing my property, went to the county jail. Well, these people are like driving around like crazy trying to photograph my property and me. It's so sick. It's definitely a sickness. They're definitely obsessed. Well, the smear campaign is the narcissist's ace in the hole. But in order for the smear campaign to work, it has to be coming from someone that somebody trusts or believes or has some kind of pull in the community. Now, in a small community like this, in New Jersey,